Good evening and welcome to another episode of Our Point of View Up Close and Personal. Today's guest is Dr. Daquesha Chever. How are you, Dr. Chever?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Good. So we're going to jump right in. So just give us a little bit about your background, your journey to becoming a physician.
Yeah, so my journey has been one of many ups and downs, and I have had the great support of my family through it all. I was a non-traditional medical student, meaning that I started medical school or college at the age of 21 versus the age of 18. Like most high school students go right into their field and go into college. I took some time out and to find myself. I was a pretty rebellious teenager and I did not have my priorities straight. I didn't have one thought about going to college at all. And my parents had told me that, like my sisters, they wanted me to go to college. And so, being rebellious, I said, hey, wait, let me figure it out. Give me 1 year to do that. And so the year came around really fast. And so I had to find out what I wanted to do. So one day watching TV in between like The Price is Right, I was a commercial come on and it says, get your career in 9 months. And I thought, wow, a career in 9 months. How can I do that? And so it's talked on and on about different career paths and to be a medical assistant. And I thought, you know what? I really love medicine. I love healthcare. I love people. I'm a people person. And this is going to be my career path. This is going to be my future. I'll be a medical assistant and I'll have money and I'll be happy and my parents will be happy, right? So I went ahead and I joined the medical assistant school and knocked it out the park. I mean, I excelled unlike ever before. I was a pretty good student in high school, but I just did the bare minimum to get by. So when I went to medical assisting school, I put my whole heart into it. And became very passionate, involved with the sciences. And I was a 4.0 and never missed a day. And I just loved it. I became the medical assistant of the year for my Franklin County chapter, which consisted of about 4 other medical assisting schools. And because of my good grades and everything, they had awarded me the medical assistant of the year for our county that year. So I went on and I thought, hey, I graduated top of my class and now I'm going to be getting a job and be done and be happy. And I got a job at a residency training facility. So this is a facility for new doctors who were going to be family practice, and they were training them to be physicians and to work with patients in the outpatient care setting. And so lo and behold, when they were training, I was right there in their mix. So I couldn't help but overhear conversations, and I got invited to journal clubs and I got invited to different meetings with drug reps, and I was thrown right into the same mixture with these resident physicians, and I fell in love with it. And so at that point, I decided, hey, you know what? I want to go back to school. I had to release some other fears, right? Because I had so hesitant to go to college to begin with. But I had to go and pick up on that passion that I had. So I went ahead and my good friend of mine, who's a resident at that time, she said to me, you know what, you're so smart. You have what it takes. And I know you can do it. I want you to, why don't you not be don't go to school to be a nurse. Don't go to school to be a PA. Go to school to be a physician because I know you can do it. And so with that, that's all I needed to hear. And I said, you know what? I do want to be a doctor. This is my calling. This is my passion. And I want to do it. So once you know what you want to do, it makes it so clear for you to release any other worries you have because you are set. Your eyes are set on a goal. And that's what I tell all my patients and my contacts now, is that go ahead and believe and try to achieve whatever it is to get to your next best in life, because it's right there. All you got to do is grab it. So I went ahead and I became a physician. I went to the Ohio University Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine, and the trials and tribulations didn't stop, but I kept pressing forward. And here I am today as a physician. I couldn't be
That's
any happier.
That's awesome. Now, are you planning on having your own private practice, or are you just going to be working with a hospital?
You know, I've been contemplating this throughout some time now, and the way that my life is so hectic, I really am going to try to do that. But first, I have to continue to reach some other milestones that I want to achieve for my next best. And right now, I'm going down a career path where I want to release myself as an author, and entrepreneur is the next best thing for me as well. And so, yes, that is part of my journey, future goals. But right now, I am employed. I'm happily employed as an urgent care physician. I love serving my community and being there as a physician for them from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it meets the demands of the community at large, because so many physician offices are closed at 4 or 5. The last appointments at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And most of my patients are middle class, hardworking, hard earning. They just can't not take time off from their jobs to go get health care. And so I am there to meet that demand and meet that need. And with COVID being so huge now, these hours are convenient for most of my patients to get to me. And they ask me all the time, I wish you had a private practice. And I always tell them, well, it's probably coming, but, I keep them kind of waiting on that too. But it is a goal of mine to one day to have a private practice, whether it's just a small practice or a large practice at hand. But, it's one of my goals and one of my next best. But now I'm happy. I'm settled with my career, and I'm trying to reach another next best with my movement, with the I am a releaser movement in my book. And that's kind of where my goals are headed now.
Okay, so let's start the book. During all that, you decided to write a book. What motivated you to write this book? And the name of the book is called Releasing, Manifesting All of Me. So what motivated you to write this book?
I've been helping patients to reach their next best health goals, but now I'm ready to help them with their next best in their life, their career, their personal achievements that they have set aside that they want to go forward and move forward on. And I want it to be an inspiration and to guide them and help them to do that. And they can release all of these other dreams they have as well. It doesn't stop with your health, right? It stops with your mindset, positivity, being able to think and dream and achieve. I always say you have to ask, believe, receive to get to your next best, next greater. So I just want to help them to achieve those goals that they have in every aspect of their life now.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about the book, Releasing, Manifesting All of Me. Where did you come up with the title?
With the title? Oh, the title is, so my first book, let me back up and say that my first book I authored was in 2018. And it was just a little stepping stone to get to where I am now. It was called Step Into Your Destiny. Your next best is waiting. And so in that book, I talked about affirmations and vision boards and how to be productive. And so the next thing for me was what has held someone back from achieving their next best? So I had to think of it from that realm. And so when I did that, I realized that along my own journey, I had to release so many different things. I had to release different social networks. Some of my friends I had to cut loose. I had to release some of my own fears and doubts of not being good enough. As a student that went back to college and had to start off with science and math 101, I had to release a lot of those kind of fears about going forward and to keep myself motivated. So, I thought this book, Releasing, was going to be a great title to get other people to also be a releaser and to join in my movement to release the best in them and the worst out of them to get to their next best. So it's kind of is a continuation of my first book.
Okay. Okay. So in your book, you talk about
there's a lot there.
yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot. I have
Helping
a lot of good tips.
because you were talking about the vision boards. How
Yeah.
explain to us about the vision board? How those vision boards actually help your patients or your readers?
Yeah, so the vision boards are your creations of how you want your life to look. I to say it's a billboard, like the NFL commercials during the Super Bowl, and it's like everything is like overdone, big time, big screen, lights, cameras, action, and that's your life. That's how you want your life to be.
Right.
You want the same thing. You want the big lights, the cameras, the action. You want that motivation, that energy, that feel good. And for me, the best way to do that and to create that is with your vision board. And so I started these workshops back in 2017. And back then I was doing live in-person vision board workshops. And now had to move it more towards the virtual world, which is fine. But I started these workshops because, I myself at first did not understand what a vision board is. So if you let me go ahead and explain to the audience what a vision board is, then I'll go into how that all came about. Okay. So a vision board is your life on paper, on a board, about what you really want to happen, whatever it's how big or how small, how little or how large. You're going to put it all onto this board. I usually use like a 16 by 20 size because it has to be big. This is your life. This is your career. It's not your life for the next year. It's not your life for the next 6 months. I mean, it could be, but I'm doing this for like my entire life map. And sometimes when you do that in advance and you are thinking that far ahead, you can actually anticipate. And when you think about it, thoughts become things, and you will manifest every single thing on that board. It will come. If you think it, it will come. Ask, believe, receive. And so the vision board itself is just a framework. Because really, it's all up here about what you have to believe and ask what you want. And once you say it out loud and you put it on paper and you can see it every day, that is when manifesting happens. That's when your trust happens. That's when you can get the energy and the feeling behind it to make it happen. Because it's not going to happen on its own. It's not going to happen with it just sitting there on the wall. You have to actually physically take charge, take action, go out, start doing the things that you need to do in order for your vision board to come true. So the vision board is, like I said, a framework. So once you get the framework down, you're going to put on there, and I have tons of tips in my book about how to create your vision board and how to design it to the optimization that you need. And so that's just the ground layer of what you need to do to get it to work. And so I've had family and friends and clients who come back to me and they say, you know what? I went to your workshop and I reached that goal. I graduated. I got that career advancement. I got that house on the hill. I went ahead and I succeeded, excelled. And so, but it all starts with your mind. It all starts with the thoughts. And when you positively are putting into you what you need to feed and nourish your mental, your mindsets, everything else falls in place.
So how does the vision board work when life happens and something changes? So do you have your you have them go back and adjust the vision board? Because,
No, you never adjust
we
your
may
vision
have
board.
it to
You
be
never
how we want.
adjust. Yeah. So one thing is that I say you never adjust the vision board during. So I do a vision board once a year, and so it's a continuation. So you keep adding, subtracting, but you don't change
Oh,
it. You don't
so you're
change
not
it
writing
because
all out time.
no, you're not going to say, well, I didn't get my yacht. I'm going to go ahead and forget about my boat. So you never change it. You just kind to retweak it, restructure it, because maybe in that year you realize, what, the yacht's not what I want. I want to be able to take trips. I don't want to own a yacht. I want to be able to go ahead and rent a yacht when I go on vacation. I want things that have so you just change it, you just tweak it to fit and suit you, and your vision board is yours, it's personal. So it's no one's business what's on your vision board unless you want to share it. And so what I always tell everyone is, what, you can tell everyone what you want on your vision board, but just know that if you don't meet that goal, don't let somebody else hold you accountable to that. Don't let somebody else hate on you because you did not check off everything on your vision board. That's for you. And so, and you're in charge of that. You create that, and you're allowed to change. You're allowed to go to your next best. And so when you do that, and you can continuously feed on that, and your vision board is going to take shape and form and change. Mine has evolved from my very first vision board. I had on there, believe it or not. Now remember, I was a 21-year-old going back to college to be a doctor. And so I had on my very first vision board a Maytag washer and dryer. Because I was tired of going to the I was tired of using beat up washing machines that I had to, put more energy and money in or spend there with another dry cycle. So my first vision board, I had like basic things on there. I wasn't like gung ho on this big mansion and all this stuff. It was so simple. But you know what? It felt so good when I got that washer and dryer because it was something that I had worked for.
Right.
You have to work for it.
Now, do you have like the people who come to your workshop, do you have them partner up so they can like keep each other, in check or, accountable for what they put on their vision boards?
Yeah, so what we did was we kind of tailored it by young, youth, and older. So we kind of tailored it so that the youth could be with someone who was experienced. Okay. And then from that, the people who are older could also learn because the youth, they have no problems putting down what they want on paper. Right. I, on the other hand, had a huge time. My first vision board workshop, I had a huge time putting on this board. Everyone was cutting out things, clipping, pasting. And here I am, a new graduate from medical school, sitting there with this empty canvas. I had lost touch with myself. Oh, wow. I couldn't even tell you what I like to do. Someone asked me, what's your favorite thing to do? I studied. I was a studying machine. So I put youth with older, and that kind of helps them spawn their own creativity together. And they can kind of see, okay, yeah, I do like that. I do want that. I want to go back to school. I want to go ahead and get my diploma or my whatever. I want to do this. I want to succeed. I want to be happy. I tell people, don't just put pictures of what you want, physical things. Put the other things, the spiritual things, how you want to feel. Put a big sunshine. You want to be happy. So I tell them to put all these different things. And, that's all with, like I said, that kind of gets into the first book. But now we're scratching the surface. So now we're going to go into, I'm going deeper. And so releasing, manifesting all of me is where the aha moments happen. Mm-hmm. It's where you can actually figure it out, how to do it. Right. What do you need to release? Right. What things do you need to let go of? What people do you need to cut out? You know,
Mhm.
who's holding you back? Why is somebody holding you back? Why are
Yeah.
you letting them hold you back?
Right.
What things that you have going on inside that you need to release and get out? So it's
Mhm.
releasing the worst out of you and releasing in the good, the best things in you, so that you can achieve. Because we're all worthy. We are all very worthy. And we all have, heart desires and dreams and things that we want to happen, but we get stuck. Look at 2020. 2020 was a year that nobody could
Expected
have
it.
predicted. And
Yeah.
here we are. We lost connections. We lost out opportunities to meet with family and friends and get togethers. I mean, it set some people back. And
Right.
so, really, we need to look at 2020 and release that first, right? Let's all release 2020, like hashtag release 2020, because it happened. And there's pain in there.
Yeah.
There's many nights I came home, had to, get out my scrubs, wouldn't even hug my daughter, go right to the shower
Mhm.
and try to scrub off me this COVID, right?
Wow.
And so there's a lot of pain, goes on when you're a physician and anyone frontline working and having to care for your family still. There's a lot that happens mentally that you have to release it, because now you have to because now it's not going anywhere.
Mhm.
COVID's not going anywhere.
Oh, wow.
It's different strains. There's, we got the vaccine. That's great. But we got different things coming along still with COVID that we need to be able to, we can't keep going on if we're all fearful, right? There's no reason to be fearful anymore, because we do have hope. And that hope lies in this new vaccine. And so, that's where our hope can start with COVID, is if you're able to go get vaccinated, go get vaccinated. The 3 W's always are going to stand true. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance.
Mhm.
So those are the things that we're going to have to continue to do in order for us to be happy this year in 2021. And so you can't, let that hold us back from going on in 2021. You just go forward and be hopeful that, that there is going to be some sunshine in 2021.
Right. Right. So with
And
all that, go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Now, and with all that, you have people who are doing the vision boards in 2020 and 2021. But what about their mental state? How are they feeling? I mean, are they actually putting down what they want realistically, or what they've lost in 2020? Because a lot of us have lost loved ones. So how are they with their mental state trying to do their vision boards?
Yeah. So in my book, I have a lot of tips and lots of constructive feedback about how to release out some of the things, some of the hurt, some of your, whether it's private pain or some of the tragedies that have happened, whether it's something that happened to you when you're 5 or something that happened to you when you're 50. I mean, there's a lot that has to happen in order for you to get to your next best. And so, like for me, when I was making my first vision board and had no idea what to put on it, people are also putting on it things that may not be, healthy, may not be realistic. But that's where my book comes in. That's where my mentoring comes in. My coaching comes in. Anyone that's watching can go to www.releasing, RELEASING, the number one, releasing1.com. And you can, get the book. You can join the movement, the I'm a Releaser movement. So these are all the different ways that I have created for people to help them to get to their next best.
Mhm. So with COVID going on and everything, you're doing everything virtual as well. You're having your workshops virtual. Are you still doing those?
Yeah, so everything's been virtual, mostly by word of mouth, and it's all going pretty good.
Okay. So what's next for you?
Oh, my movement. So the I'm a Releaser movement is next for me. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to encompass so many um, uh, different parts of working together with different people. So we're gonna have a family component. We're gonna have a youth component, just the youth. We're gonna have the single mom component. As a single parent, we're gonna have a single mother component there. There's gonna be so many different layers of the movement. I'm just so excited to share with everybody. And that movement is going to be taking place all of this year. Hopefully, when things kind of slow down with the COVID, we can start to really dig into the different parts of the movement more, and it'll be very helpful. Right now, people who want to get involved, they can go to my social media, my Facebook, my Instagram. You can follow me at Dr. Daquesha at DRDAQUESHA. And I'm on Instagram posting daily, helping to motivate and encourage and to speak positively. If nobody else is speaking positive to you, you can go to my page. You can read all the positive things that I am encouraging people to do and to believe in themselves because they're worthy.
Right, right. That's awesome. You're doing a lot. That's really amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. I
Oh, you're
mean,
welcome.
so if they want to purchase your book, they can just go to the website as well and purchase it there, or is
So
it on
yeah,
the ebook?
everything is on the website, and once again it's www.releasing1.com, and you can find me there to purchase the book. And you also can go to my social media pages and like and follow me, and continue to release your next best.
Okay. So now you're not going to be having a book signing no time soon, right? You're going to just be doing that virtual as well. Just talking about the book virtual.
Yeah, so coming down the pipeline, we have some events happening still with COVID.
Okay.
And I'll be, explaining all that as the time comes up.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you so very much for joining us tonight on Our Point of View Up Close and Personal.
Thank you
And
for having.
you're more than welcome. And once again, the name of the book is Releasing, Manifesting All of Me. And you can go to the website and you can pick it up.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us on Facebook Live. Next week, we're going to be talking about the inauguration. The inauguration is next Wednesday, so we're going to be talking about that. And just remember, be careful, wear your mask, do your social distancing, and also, check on your family and friends, because now is a time where people are really getting depressed because a lot of things are going on that a lot of us don't understand. That's why we like to bring on doctors like Dr. Chever's, bring them on so they can explain things to us, what we can do for our mental health, our mental, stability, so that, because a lot of us, a lot of people are locked in now because they're you can't go out, you can't do a lot of things, but we still need to talk to people, we still need to talk to our doctors and all. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, and remember, everything you heard and everything we said was up close and personal. We'll see you next time on Our Point of View.